And the list goes on and on and on. And it's just, it's a list. It's definitely a list. Go check it out yourself. I'm not even going to read this list. It's pretty much every state in the country. Subscribe to the channel for information like this.
Yeah, so I'm not going to read the list. I'm reporting on it, but I'm not going to read it. You also notice that Tommy didn't use his boom microphone. Like, why did you buy one if you're just going to talk in an echoey room? But that led me to thinking about the other news reporters that are in our trucking sphere, like Mother Trucker and Bonehead Truckers, as you can see on the screen here. And it reminded me of how fucking lazy they are. How little effort they put into their content, and yet they're somehow rewarded with views on YouTube. So let's get into it, guys. What's going on, YouTube? So Tommy made a video. It's like 2 minutes long, and he's reading a product recall announcement for cheese. And in that recall reading, he just does what any of us could do, right? He finds the article and he reads it. That's it. He doesn't provide any extra context. He doesn't go into any in-depth explanations. He doesn't look up any new information. He doesn't pull any additional reports. He doesn't interview anybody. He just reads a news article that's free on the internet that we can all read, right? And I mean, he did it poorly. Like, you can see from what I showed you, he didn't even want to read the full thing. He's like, oh, I'm not reading that. Look it up yourselves. Okay, well, if we're looking it up ourselves, what do we need you for? And it got me thinking that there's a lot of big YouTubers out there that do the same shit, and for some reason, they get views. And I don't understand it, you know? I mean, I could see if they were like super engaging with the audience, you know, they brought something to the table. But they don't. They're lazy. And I'm talking about the big YouTubers like, well, the big trucking news YouTubers, I should specify, like the Bonehead Truckers, the Mother Truckers, right? You watch their content, and I went back and I looked at like their last couple months of videos, just browsing through to see like, am I seeing this correctly? You know, like, is the thought that I'm having, is it valid? You know, or am I being unfair? So I went back and I watched a bunch of their old videos, you know? And that's the entirety of their content, is they'll screen record the news, post it on their channel. Maybe they'll have their face down in the corner over here, like down here, and they'll just be watching it, right? There's a newscaster over here on the screen. They're like, well, tragic news. There's a truck accident here on street whatever and whatever, and someone was killed. And then they're over here in the corner, and they're like, well, there you go. You saw it on the news. So why do we need you? All you did was take the news and repost it on your channel. So you're essentially committing copyright infringement, even though I know it's public, but you're just taking somebody else's content and reposting it, and that's getting you thousands of views. That's the level of creativity that the content creators in the trucking space have, is to take other people's news, post it on their channel, and be like, well, you heard it here. No, we heard it on the news. You just recorded it and then replayed it. And somehow that's content. And it raises two questions. Are these guys actually content creators? Are they just reposting shit and somehow YouTube hasn't caught on to that yet? Or is the trucking community as stupid as this guy Trucks said they were, and they think that that's content? I mean, think about it. As a truck driver, you listen to news and politics all fucking day, right? You may not have cared about politics or the news at all, ever in your life, and then you got a CDL and you're on the road for 11 hours and you need something to do, and all of a sudden the news seems kind of interesting, right? So why are these guys allowed to just, like, why are they allowed to just thrive on such lazy content? Why are people rewarding them with views when they're contributing nothing. They're taking other people's content, reposting it, and I mean, half the time there's no life behind it. I mean, Mother Trucker doesn't even have an opinion anymore. He's so milquetoast, it's ridiculous. He won't take a stand on anything. You know, he's so neutral. Like, he doesn't want to offend anybody. God forbid you offend people and your channel loses some views, right? You got to do everything for a view. At least Ike Stevens will put on that fake Texas bullshit. That's not really Ike Stevens, but you know, he'll put on his fake, I'm a Texas good old boy. You know, oh, dadgum, they got an accident over here on freeway. You know, it's like, that's not who he really is. But at least he'll put on that fake little accent to give some kind of content to the videos. But I think when I really noticed this was the Amazon driver that killed someone down there in Houston off the Beltway. I noticed that both Ike Stevens and Mother Trucker, they both made the exact same video. They took clips from the news, posted it, and went, wow, so sad, guys. Truck driver killed someone. Wow, gotta be careful out here. That was it. That was the nature of the content. No police report pulled, no additional information, no additional footage. They didn't get on Google Maps, go to the intersection and look around and be like, let's see what this truck driver was looking at, guys. Right? That's their job, is to be on the internet. Right? They're not driving 11 hours and then having to try to rush to put together a video. Right? Their only job is YouTube, and they put in zero effort. They screen record the news, put it on their channel. That's it. Right? No work, no additional thought, no additional information. You have all the time. You don't work. YouTube is your job. You think you would like put 100% into your job, right? You think you would try to be good at your job, have a little pride in your work, seeing as how YouTube is what's paying your bills, you know? But these guys, they don't even try, right? And I'm using them because they're known, but there's other people out there that do the same thing where they, you know, like the little Tommy clip, you know? They put zero effort into it. But somehow, like, it's rewarded, you know? We reward mediocrity. And maybe I'm guilty of that too, you know? It's like, I'm not the greatest YouTube creator, but yet some people are watching me. But I don't understand how these guys are allowed to have this, especially in Ike Stevens' case, is like, get this arrogance like they're important. But all they're doing is screen recording other people's content and posting it, you know? There was an incident that we had with Ike Stevens recently where he struck Billy's channel because Billy used Ike Stevens' content, but Ike Stevens' entire channel is dash cam footage that other people recorded. That's not all Ike Stevens' dash cam footage. So his whole channel is built on using other people's footage, but he has the audacity to strike someone for using other people's footage, right? Imagine if these news channels, you know, imagine if like ABC and Fox and all these guys were just like, no, you can't use our content. What would these guys' channels be? It'd be them awkwardly sitting at their camera, like, there was a news story, I used to be able to record it, but now I can't, so I guess go watch the news. That would be their content, because they don't have any content. And it's like, you know, maybe at some point, like at the beginning of their channel, there was passion there, that, you know, that they would put forth effort for the channel. But you can see, like, the longer they're on YouTube, the less they try, the less they care. Because you can tell it's a chore. They don't want to do the work. They don't want to put in the effort. And it's like, you have to. That's your job. You've pigeonholed yourself into YouTube as a career. You know, like me as a driver, if now almost 20 years into the industry, I'm just like, I don't want to try anymore. I just want to be lazy and dangerous. It's too late. I got too much time in the industry. I need to perform my job well. This is what pays my bills. right? You would think the same logic applies to YouTube, right? Obviously, if you don't make a good YouTube video, it's not going to kill anybody, but that's your livelihood. This is how you feed your families. That's how you pay your bills, and you put zero effort into it. And I mean, I can see why, because people reward them for this. I mean, I feel like it's a social experiment at this point. Like, we should all just record the news and post it. Don't even say anything. Just post it on your channel. Once the news report is over, just end the video. Don't even say a word. Because that's what they're doing. But they call themselves, news channels. You're not the news. You're a reaction channel to the news, which is probably the most boring reaction you could have, And it's like, if you go in the comments, people will say, oh yeah, I remember watching this. Like, I tripped out when I saw this. So you've already seen it, so these guys aren't even giving you anything new. They're just rehashing what we've already all listened to on the radio or watched on our phones, or, whatever the case may be. We get the news, right? Every modern phone, I don't know about iPhone because I don't use iPhone, but like with a Samsung, if I scroll left on my home screen, the news comes up. I don't even have to ask for it. It'll just come up, all the news. And your phone tracks what you engage in, so it's going to show you content that you're interested in. So naturally for me, a bunch of trucking news comes up because I look at trucking news to see what's going on in the industry, right? So if I can just scroll left on my home screen and get the news for free, what do I need Ike Stevens and Mother Trucker for? What do you guys need them for? Why are you rewarding them for laziness? You go there to gain information and you leave with nothing new than when you went in. I mean, I guess if you're lazy and you don't want to read, it's nice that they'll read the article to you. But they only read what they want to read, right? They only read small parts of it. They don't go through the whole article. They don't discuss anything in the article. They just read it to you. An article will come out, it'll say red trucks are red, and these guys will pull the article up and they're like, hey guys, we got an article here from Freight Waves. It says red trucks are indeed the color red, so there you go. Why can't you read the fucking article? Right? Why are you rewarding these guys for doing nothing? These guys go out here, they get big-headed. I don't know about Mother Trucker necessarily, but definitely Ike Stevens. They get this sense of entitlement, like they're important, like they're doing big things, when all they're doing is just screen recording the news and reposting it on their channel, which should be copyright infringement. So I don't get it, guys. Like that's what trucking content has become. I mean, I guess that's the cash cow, because Ike Stevens used to not do news, right? He just used to do dash cam shit and trucking stuff, right? But he saw the writing on the wall and he said, I could be lazy and sit in my she shed in the backyard and only film from the chin up so you can't see how fat I am and get views on YouTube by reposting the news. Well, dadgum, sign me up, right? And so here he is. Now he's doing news. And he's so arrogant, now that he does the news, he has beef with Mother Trucker because that's his competition, right? He didn't used to have a problem with Mother Trucker, but now that he's also trying to do the news, now he's got to tell Mother Trucker, I'm the best news. Look what I built. Look what I built. You've been the same for like a decade. You haven't built shit. You built something 10 years ago and you've been riding on it, hoping it doesn't crumble to the ground in the next couple years. So, again, guys, I don't understand it. I don't. Maybe I don't have a vision for YouTube. And the thing is, when it comes to YouTube, you're either passionate, you either enjoy it, or you grind for views to pay your bills. There is no in between, right? You either do what you like and you don't necessarily get the views because not everybody likes what you like, or you trudge through and just make shit that you don't give a damn about, but you have to, right? You can see it in their content that they're just like, oh fuck, dude, I gotta make another video. I gotta get my third upload this week. or my channel will fall out of the algorithm and I won't be able to pay my light bill. You know, you can see it, that they're worn out, that they're tired, that they don't want to do this, they're not putting in the effort, yet they continue to be rewarded when it's clear that they do not care anymore. So, I don't know, guys. I know I'm not the shining example of what good content is, but in my honest opinion, I'm looking at what is considered successful content, and it's not quality, it's volume, right? Somebody made a comment on one of my videos. They said, there's Minecraft kids dying in Minecraft, not dying in real life, but there's Minecraft kids getting 80 subscribers a day. You could just film bird shit and get more views, right? And I get it that it's supposed to be an insult, right? But I thought about it, and I was like, that shows you how bad YouTube is, that we're rewarding that. I shouldn't be able to get views from filming bird crap at a truck stop. I shouldn't. That should not get views, right? A kid that doesn't edit, has terrible audio quality, and I know I'm guilty of that myself, but you know, just makes really lazy shorts of him playing Fortnite or Minecraft or some crap, shouldn't be rewarded with views, right? The people that put effort into their videos, that have passion in their videos, should be rewarded in views, right? But that's not what we're seeing. We're seeing rewarding by volume, right? You're considered successful if you post all the time, not if you actually make decent content. This guy Truck's new channel, The Enemy From Within, is a prime example of this phenomenon that we're seeing. Is he will post every other day on a schedule, right? He does no research, no thought, no original ideas. He'll see a CNN article name and he'll just make a 25-minute video ranting and raving about nonsense with zero research, zero proof, zero evidence. He'll delete all the negative comments so it looks like he's smart, he's in his little echo chamber, and his channel is growing exponentially because he found something to talk about and he posts religiously even though the content isn't good. You know, the guy's cracked out of his mind, just, Donald Trump, guys, Donald Trump, guys. That's the video, is him just tweaking in his sleeper, but he does it so often that he's in the algorithm and he just continues to grow because he found the right buzzword, you know? Ike Stevens, if you want your channel to grow, just start talking about Donald Trump 3 times a week and your channel will grow, guaranteed. It doesn't even have to be good. You don't have to do zero research. You do zero research now on your crash videos, on your news reports, and your channel gets views. But if you want to grow, find a buzzword and fucking just post 1,000,000 times about it, as much as you can, right? It's all about volume. Don't produce anything good, just produce a lot of it as quickly as possible. You see that in real life too. Look at the quality of what we have, right? Tommy's cheese video, right? They can produce cheese by the ton in minutes. Just cheese, just piles of cheese, right? It's garbage, it's got metal in it, and they gotta recall it. But hey, they can make a lot of it, right? All of our cars, they can produce 10,000 fucking Ford Tauruses in an hour, but they'll recall 9,000 of them because there's quality issues, right? So, I mean, volume is king at this point, really. You know, if you want to be successful on YouTube, if you think that YouTube is the future, like Tommy says, right? Just make videos all the time. That's what Tommy does, right? Tommy's got the worst reaction content by far on YouTube, and he gets views. Not because his videos are, are entertaining or insightful or, you know, philosophical, or there's passion. I mean, he speaks like a robot. He has no emotion in his voice. He's just like, all right, guys, I hate Mr. By the Mile. Unions are bad. Like, that's his cadence in most of his videos. But he gets views because he posts a lot, right? And to me, this is not, I don't know, this isn't, like, that's not what I would find entertaining for YouTube. Especially if I had to make a living of this, like if I needed to earn income from YouTube like Tommy, where, like I don't make enough money trucking that the only way I could have Thanksgiving is if I make a 30 view video about Mr. by the Mile that'll pay me $1.50. That's the only way I can afford my potatoes for Thanksgiving. I would be so over this. I couldn't do it. I can't force myself to do it now. You can see with the frequency of how I post my videos that I only make a video when I feel like making a video, right? If I don't feel like doing it, even if I have a great idea for a video, I'm just not going to post a video because it's not worth it to me. But I don't know, guys. That video with Tommy and then that whole thing with the Amazon driver, both Bonehead Trucker's channel and the Mother Trucker channel doing the exact same story, just taking the news report and reposting it. I mean, I was just like, these guys are lazy as hell. They're lazy as hell calling themselves YouTube creators, and I don't understand it. You know, that I guess that's just a sign of where society is right now, like that brain rot that people talk about, where it's just like this, the dumbest shit will go viral, right? But I don't know, guys. I'll let you be the judge. I'm gonna tack on to the end of the video here. I'm just gonna throw on a little funny thing here. Well, not funny. I'm just going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, like what they could do to set themselves apart from just reposting the news. So just check this out. All right, guys, here's what I'm talking about. Like, they could have done something like this, where they pull up that intersection that was being spoken about in the Amazon crash recently down in Houston. They could have pulled the intersection up, right? A visual aid for their viewers instead of just talking at the camera and playing news reports. Like, look, guys, here's where this accident happened. You know, let's break it down. Let's see what's going on. Because they're talking about how they didn't understand how the driver could be confused by other traffic lights, like the sheriff or the police said. And it's like, we could have gone over that, you know, speculated, got some good content. Like, here's the street view of part of that intersection. We could have looked at the lights and been like, I don't see a light that he could have been distracted by, guys. You know, and I mean, it took me all of 2 seconds to find these pictures. And my life isn't YouTube like theirs. Like, I gotta work. You know, I gotta do my pre-trip, my post-trips, fuel, you know, map out my routes and shit. I gotta drive, I gotta sleep at some point. I don't have time to just be researching everything all the time. But that's what these guys do. That's their job. And they can't do this. I was able to do it, and I don't even really have the time for it. But they could have pulled pictures like this up and gone through, you know, rolled around in the Google Map view and shit. And like speculated and come up with ideas and made the content more interesting than just screen recording the news. Right? But that's what I got for this one, guys. Just something that I noticed because of Tommy. I was just like, you know what? I'm going to talk about it. But anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next one. Hopefully you enjoy. If you like this content, like and subscribe to the channel. I would appreciate it. And we do have a Discord if you'd like to join. I'm going to start trying to remember to put that in the channel description. But anyway, guys, we'll see you in the next one.